Okay, so you've probably heard the phrase, act like the version of yourself you want to manifest. But here's what most people don't explain. That advice is deeply rooted in both neuroscience and quantum physics. Let's start with your nervous system, the electrical infrastructure that runs your entire body. It doesn't just manage stress, it transmits signals, literal frequencies between your heart, brain, gut, and every major organ. But those signals aren't neutral. They're shaped by your past. Your nervous system holds on to emotional experiences, trauma, beliefs, survival patterns, and it uses that stored data to determine what feels safe, even if it's dysfunctional. Now, here's where it gets really important. You have a part of your brain called the default mode network. And I know you've heard me talk about this before, or DMN. And it's responsible for a really huge job. It builds and maintains your identity. Your DMN creates a sense of self by looping familiar thoughts and emotions over and over again, especially the ones your nervous system repeats often. So if your system is stuck in lack, fear, or unworthiness, the DMN wires that into your identity. Not because it's who you truly are, but because it's what your system has normalized. And the DMN needs to identify with something. We typically say the DMN is the demon or ego. And quickly just understand the huge role that thoughts play. Thoughts create actions. Actions create behaviors, and behaviors create identity. Okay? So that's why even when you constantly want to change, your DMN is still running on the blueprint of your past. And here's the thing, the DMN can't just be reprogrammed by thinking new thoughts. It has to feel a new baseline of safety in the body before it starts to loosen its grip and reorganize around a new identity. That's where nervous system regulation comes in. When you regulate your system through breath, somatic work, presence, coaching, you create the internal safety needed to access new emotional states. And once you can feel elevated emotions like love, abundance, peace in your body, your brain starts to pick up different thought patterns. And then the DMN starts to identify with those new thought emotion patterns. It says, oh, okay, this is who we are now. And because the DMM builds your self-image based on repetition and emotional weight, the more often your nervous system can stay in that elevated state, the faster your identity rewires itself to match the version of you've been trying to manifest. So no, you're not faking anything. You're reconditioning your body and brain to accept a new self-image as normal. And that self-image is the only thing that creates sustainable change. Now, let's layer in the quantum side. So the quantum field is an invisible field of infinite potential. Every version of you already exists there as a probability, but you don't attract what you want. You attract what your system is calibrated to. When your nervous system is dysregulated, you collapse into the same old timeline. Your brain thinks the same thoughts. So your DMN reinforces the same identity and then nothing changes. But when your system becomes coherent, When it's regulated and emotionally open, you begin to tune into a different version of you in the field. And your DMN starts to organize around the new frequency, literally creating a new you based on a higher signal. That's why acting like the version of yourself you want to manifest isn't just mindset advice. It's a neurobiological and energetic practice. And the key is not just visiting the version of you, it's stabilizing it until your system fully accepts it as your new baseline. If you're ready to actually embody that shift, not just think about it, message me to join my 4-week nervous system coaching container. This is where we rewire your system, regulate your identity, and build the self-image your future is waiting on. And drop this in the comments below. What version of you are you done performing for, and what are you ready to become?